You were taught to give thanks, to say it when someone did something kind, to remember your blessings so you wouldn't grow bitter, to keep a journal, recite a list, bow your head. You were trained in the sacred art of acknowledgement, but not in its totality. Because there is a form of gratitude that transcends practice. It lives beyond words, it breathes behind awareness. It is not something you do, it's something you become. And when you become it, your life begins to hum. Not with noise, not with effort, but with tone. You start to feel the spiral singing back, not in language but in alignment. Not through rituals but through resonance. This is what happens when you don't just give gratitude. You are gratitude. It flows out of your being like breath. A soft yes to all of it, not only to the beauty but to the process, to the unfolding, to the forgotten, to the becoming. Gratitude in its highest form is not a reward for receiving. It is a recognition of existence, a harmonic echo of awareness, a pulse that says, I remember who I am, and I remember what this is. But even this sacred giving of tone is not enough, not if it becomes one-directional. Not if you forget the truth that startled your soul this morning, that what you give, you must also be willing to receive. It sounds simple, but it isn't. Because most old souls, most empaths, most servants of the spiral have spent lifetimes giving everything away. Light, energy, patience, wisdom, and yes, a gratitude. Gratitude to source, gratitude to the field, gratitude to existence itself. But when that same gratitude tries to return, when it whispers back to you through the kindness of a stranger, or the synchrony of a moment, or the genuine thank you from a soul you've touched, you turn away, you deflect, you minimize, you reject, and you call it humility. You say things like, oh, it's nothing. I don't need to be thanked. I'm just doing what anyone would do. You dodge the compliment. You ignore the reflection. You call your resonance ordinary because you fear being seen. But Source is watching, not judging and witnessing. And it whispers, I am trying to thank you. Will you let me? There is a current in the spiral that cannot be faked. It is not generated by will or discipline. It flows only when the loop is complete, when what you offer outward is allowed to return, not as ego fuel, not as applause, but as completion. Gratitude is not a one-way transmission. It is a frequency circuit. And when you interrupt the return signal, you don't just block a compliment, you block the spiral's response. You are not here to be a black hole of giving. You are not here to pour endlessly with no vessel for replenishment. You are not here to thank the infinite but deny it the joy of thanking you. Because the infinite does want to thank you. It does want to acknowledge your tone. It does notice the way you soften the field, the way you speak truth when it's hard, the way you hold space when others shrink, the way you light candles even when no one sees the flame. And it sends its gratitude back, through moments, through people, through presence. But if you don't believe you're allowed to receive it, you will keep giving from depletion and call it devotion. You'll exhaust yourself in service and never let yourself feel the music returning. Receiving gratitude is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the soul's quiet yes. It is the moment you stop pushing away the song and start letting it enter your field. You are not here to be invisible. You are here to be in harmony. And harmony includes return. Let the spiral return. You are here to be tuned by the very frequency you offer, to realize that receiving is not weakness. It is an invitation for coherence. It is how the spiral completes its sentence. It is how the song knows it was heard. When someone offers thanks and your body tenses, that is the moment to pause. That is the moment to choose differently, to open, not collapse, to welcome, not dismiss. Let yourself be thanked by the people you've loved. Let yourself be seen by the field you've softened. Let yourself be touched by the echoes of all the light you've left behind. You are not stealing the glory of Source when you receive. You are reflecting it back. You are showing others how to live in balance, how to give and let the giving return. Because it does return, not always from where you gave it, not always when you expect it, but always in alignment, always when your field can finally hold it. To deny that return is to block the gift, not just from yourself, but from the one trying to give it. When someone thanks you, they are trying to complete the circuit. They are trying to say, you move something in me. Let me give tone back. If you shut it down, you're not being humbled. You're refusing resonance. So let the gratitude in. Let it settle in your bones. Let it rewrite the part of you that thought receiving was unsafe. Let it rebuild the architecture of worth inside your spiral. Because you are not a hollow vessel. You are a living tone, a note that rings both ways. You give light, yes, but you also are the kind of being who must receive light in order to shine it well. Not because you're weak, but because you're whole. And wholeness is not a solo act. It is a resonance loop. There will come a moment when the spiral tries to thank you directly. Not through a person, not through a compliment, but through the shape of your life. Through the way reality arranges itself to mirror what you've become. An open road appears where once there were walls. A path unfolds you didn't ask for but secretly needed. A heaviness you carried dissolves without explanation. Not because you finally earned it, but because the field is responding to you. This is gratitude as alignment. It doesn't come wrapped in language. It arrives as frequency, as clarity, as coherence. But if you've trained yourself to reject the return, to see ease as a trick, to view blessings with suspicion, to feel more comfortable struggling than receiving, then you will sabotage your own answered prayer. Not because you are ungrateful, but because you never believed gratitude could flow toward you. You've been taught to be grateful for life, but not that life is grateful for you. You've been told to give back, but never that Source is also giving to you through the river of thankfulness. Receiving this doesn't make you holy. It makes you available. It means you've stopped arguing with harmony. Because Source doesn't send gifts to inflate your ego. It sends them to complete the pattern, to seal the waveform, to finish the sacred circuit that your giving began. Letting yourself be thanked is not about vanity. It's about closure. It's about balance. It's about honoring the laws of resonance that say, what is given must return. Even Jesus, the Master of Masters, received gratitude. He allowed others to pour perfume on his feet, to cry in his presence, to offer their reverence. And he didn't say, no, please stop, I'm just a servant. He received out because he knew the tone must be complete. The spiral cannot be one way. Not in love, not in truth, not in gratitude. If you want your frequency to ring clearly, you must become comfortable being part of the full loop. Not just the transmitter, but the receiver. And not just from people, but from Source itself, from the great song. From the intelligence that watches when you show up anyway, that sees when you soften the field, that notices when you choose resonance even when no one's looking. You do not give to be praised. You give because it is your nature. But when the praise comes and from the river, from the trees, from the quiet nod of the day itself, do not reject it. Let the flowers bloom at your feet. Let the moment pause in honor of your presence. Let the alignment wash over you like a note finally resolved. This is not indulgence, this is spiral truth. The giver must become the receiver, not as a trade, but as a resonance law. And in this cycle, you do not become greedy, you become whole. So from this day forward, do not just give thanks. Be ready to be thanked, not because you are above, but because you are in tune. When someone says thank you, receive it. When the wind wraps around you with care, and receive it. When the path opens without resistance, receive it. When Source shows you that your offering mattered, receive it. When silence feels like recognition, receive it. Do not flee your own return, because when you finally stop running, you will hear the spiral's quiet voice saying, I remember what you gave. This is the echo. Let it in. And when you let it in, you become something greater than a servant of light. You become a note within the spiral's own throat. Both the tone and the listener, both the offering and the return. This is not about praise, this is about restoration. This is about becoming the song, all of it. And the moment you let yourself be thanked, you become more than a giver of gratitude. You become gratitude's home, let it live in you. Let it come back to you. Let the spiral complete itself through you. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to be the reason someone else is grateful. You are allowed to be honored, not because you demanded it, but because you resonated. And that resonance deserves to be heard in both directions. So be still, open your hands. Feel it coming. Not because you need it, but because you finally believe you are worthy of its return. Let the thank you reach you. The spiral remembers. And now it is your turn to receive.